London Fields, that's the primary school?
Yeah.
And then, so where did you go secondary school?
I went to school in Dalston.
Okay.
I went Kingsland High School for a
How
little
was
while. That was very ghetto. Very, very, very ghetto. I see teachers get mash up firework fights in school, all type. It was like something you'd see on TV, I swear to God. Kingsland High School was the maddest thing. And then I got moved to a school in Stepney. You know Sir John Cass in Whitechapel. Whitechapel.
What is that? Northwest? Where's that?
That was in East as well. That was
okay.
East as well. But that area was heavily populated by Bangladeshi people.
Right.
Them times, late 90s, they hated black people. As in, they would come outside of the school and beat up black boys.
So why did you move to that school? Did you get kicked out?
My mum moved me there.
Oh,
my mum moved me there because the school was just going to shit anyway. Like Kingsland High School was going to shit. There was no education going in. It was one of them schools where you could wear trainers.
Yeah.
And like whatever.
Yeah.
So there was no sort of real structure.
She didn't or anything.
And there was a little Turkish who used to live next door to my mum who used to go to the school that she wanted me to go to. And now when he's coming back, we're putting, there's a swimming pool in our school.
Yeah.
Mum's like, fuck this man, you're going with the Turkish shoot to that school. Not realising that when I go there, I've got to fight Bangladeshi boys every day. Like, it's long. They're coming outside the school at 3:05. We're in their ends. And they're literally picking out black boys and rassing them up. The same youth that was in your class in maths, the Asian youth, was chilling and laughing with you, has now joined the pack. Yeah. He's now joined the pack after school.
Mind games.
But if I'm lying and flying, bro, do you know how much man I see get mashed up in school? Like, that's East London changed everything for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, see how I had to move, how I had to protect myself. Cause I remember, I didn't have a bag of cousins that I could phone or whatever else. It was just one or two men from school. So for me, my whole mindset had to change because even with going to school, I'm seeing it as my little brother's coming here in 3-4. There's 4 years between us. I ain't got time for this coming back to the school to fend for my brother and all. I ain't got time. I'm leaving a legacy now. So when my brother comes here, that was
so your brother weren't even there?
No, because when I was in year 11, my brother started year 7.
Right.
So I'm leaving now. Do you know what I mean? He's going through his journey now. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So I kind of made it in a way where in school, I started getting suspended in like year 8, year 9 when I moved to that school because I was literally holding some of these Asian youths in class and mashing them up. So I'd get sent home early. You know what I mean? So you ain't getting me after school to mash me up and all of this rah. If you troubled me yesterday, cool. Tomorrow morning, before reception, there wasn't registrations done, I broke you up in class in front of everybody. Everyone. I get suspended, I'm at home for 3 days. But by now, people are starting to respect me because there's not many men from Hackney going to these schools. So it's the odd African youth who's just come into the country, who's going to the school, who's not really on the fighting thing or whatever. There's not black boys in the area.
In your school, blood, see my school, when them Africans coming over, blood, they was on fighting.
Yeah, but I'm saying there was a few of them in your school. Where in my school, we was the minority. So the school was predominantly, I'm talking like proper stats, it was like 76% Bengali boys that went to the school. The rest was the odd Turkish youth, whatever else it is. So the odd black youth that was going there.
And then they had other ones coming. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, so, and the school across the road was Stepney Boys, which was an all boys Bengalis only school. So if they all lived in the same area together, regardless if you went that school, they're all brethren's blood. And they're just here to mash man up. They're listening to Tupac in their little BMWs or whatever when it's Diwali, but they're mashing man up because you're black, fam. So,
did you have a girlfriend in school?
Nah, I wasn't that you know. The girl never really liked me like that in school still. I wasn't that
I was going to ask you if you had a little Bengali girl.
No, man, I didn't still.
Okay, so when did you get, after you left there, so how was your brother's run? Was he alright at school? Did he get on alright?
My little brother was alright. In regards to secondary school, he was, like I said, he was quite smart and academically smart, so he was always flourishing in classes, and now he's good. Like a pastry chef and all of these kind of things, so he was quite close to mum and always wanted to watch mum in kitchen or whatever, so he was, I didn't really have to obviously the odd time or whatever.
But he wasn't that worried about it?
Yeah, I weren't really worried about him because his headset was always different.
So when did you start thinking about music, getting into music?
Do you know, I started that in school, when I was in that secondary school, in Stepney, there was a bunch of youths, to be honest with you, that was in like the year below me, and there was a youth called Chris who had decks at home. I didn't really have no music training like that or whatever else it is, but he had a one decks and he had a tune, he had that garage tune, Pac-Man. I don't know if you remember it. Listen, that garage tune, that was the only record he had. And he went there and I said to the man, saying, we're going to go and practice MCing, because them times their man's listening to on radio and all of this kind of stuff or whatever. The man them's going to radio sticks, Meridian and all of these crews or whatever. Man say, nah, man, I want to MC, blood. You get me? I hear these youths over talking on the bus back, they're going to Chris's yard. These times I ain't really friends with them, I'm older. So they're not really my bridge. What? these times I'm a bit like, not the bully, but I've got the rep in the school, you get me? So if I say I'm coming. No one's going to argue with me too tough. Hey, these men talking about going to MC. I said, yo, I'm coming. Went to this yard, Chris's yard, and they had the one record, bro. And my man would mix the one record with some other tune that his mum had and would speed it up at 140 because there was an instrumental side of it. And he would mix between the two tunes, and these men were practicing writing their lyrics and that. So I just started writing my little bars, not realising that you had to write in 8, 16, 24. I'm writing 9 bar, 30. I'm just writing. You know them ones, they're just writing. So one of the man said to me, yo, now you got to structure it, 8, 16, boom, boom. See, from I learned that was it. Like from 14 years old, I just started penning. And we just used to go to his house. His mum used to just let us come in there and just record on tape and all of these things until you get a little buzz and you get to go radio station. I think Deja was one of the first stations we went on.
Simple.
You know what I'm saying? So it started from then.
How old was you when you first went on Deja?
I was 15. I was 15 the first time I went on Deja, and it was mad scary because Deja wasn't even on that rooftop at the time. At the time, it was in some block, in some estate. You remember the rooftop, right? God. So it was in some estate. But bro, I remember going into this estate, we had some idiot slot, like one of them 11 to 1 a.m. slots. So I've gone to this estate, and there's bare youths outside. Bare man smoking weed. I'm not even smoking it. I was with two youths that weren't on nothing. They just wanted to MC, bruv. You know them ones there, they were shook. I think my mind serves me right, one of them ended up getting robbed after we left the station. It was that deep. Like them times there, if you either took the risk or you were just at home MC. It was one of them ones that you had to go to these little blocks and night bus to this ends and whatever else it is, because no one's driving these times, bruv, for this MC and thing. Cause it was new. It didn't even have a name these times. It didn't even have a name. So really, it was just taking the risk, really.
And then, so what was your next step? Like?
I think, like I said, it was just a matter of MCing constantly. You grow a love for it, innit? Like you start swapping tapes with people and you realise that there's other crews outside of the nasty crews and the road deeps and whatever else it is, and there's other people that are trying to get into these places. So for me, it was youth clubs were a major thing. They played a major part in my career, to be honest with you. So as much as I started going on radio and stuff, radio wasn't what put me into the limelight, sort of. It was me going back to Wembley Club, going to this youth club in Wembley and shelling off, because bear in mind, this time's in Northwest, unless you were doing bashment, no one cared. So it was just about that.
Mad because I remember the youth club.
Granville.
That side, Granville.
I remember the youth club days.
You already know.
I remember the youth club days, and like I was thinking the other day, like, because obviously a lot of them have closed down now and all that, and I was thinking, like, do you think like that's got something? Well, obviously it's not got.
In regards to what, the road?
Yeah, you know, like, but you know, like, even for instance, like, see, like, when man used to go youth club, like, they used to be, like, youths from up the road, like, I'm from Walthamstow, they used to be youths from, like, Drive, youths from, like, basically all around Walthamstow, innit? So it's like, you know, everyone from everywhere, like, bad people from, if you're bad, you know, bad guys from everywhere, if you're good, you know, whatever. But I'm saying now, because there's none of that, it's like all ends are kind of separated within the ends.
I think it plays a major
part. That's why they end up
beefing.
I think it plays a major part. For me, to be honest with you, see, like, if the money became long, like that, I would definitely open up a few youth clubs or whatever else it is. Because for me, as much as, all right, I didn't always go on the trips that they went on and all of them kind of things there. For me, it played a major part in me building a name within the ends. Let's say, for example, me going to Tavistock, because, you know, in Northwest, we had Tavistock and we had Wembley Club, we had Granville, and there was another one, I can't even remember what it was called. But you see, if you was like the top dogs in any of them places there, then you start getting bookings for like Bigger Fish and whatever else it is. So now your name's on a flyer with Bashi or Flirter D or whatever else it is. Now people from your school or your college, so your team's starting to build now for the back of the youth club team. It was the same thing with me in East London. So for me, it was East London. It was weird because it was almost like I was playing mind tricks from early. Because you see in Northwest, in regards to the music team, they respect East, North and South a lot in regards to when people are doing things, especially back in the day. So see, if you was from East and you was a Lethal B or a blah blah or a North Star or whatever else it is, it was almost like you lot already made it. You see what I'm saying to you? So for me being from East London, they always looked at me as like, oh, you must know Wiley and Kano and DWE and them man there. So they would give me a certain level of respect and put me on certain flights from early, not realising I don't know none of them man over there, bruv. I'm just trying to ting, and I haven't met none of them artists yet. I'm just from East and I'm trying to ting, but because they have this stigma of East London MCs have already made it, I'm doing well in Northwest. Now in Northwest, I mean in East London, they're seeing me as the guy from West, so they're not really rating my ting like that because they don't rate the West London ting. Remember, it's all West. There's no Northwest. It's just West. So I've got a kind of brother. You know, my mum lives in London Fields. Like you know, like I've almost got to detach myself from the Northwest in order to solidify myself in the East London. So it was having to play both sides of the fence in order for me to cut through and me be here where I am now.